Let's talk about Invest in Answers. Is that his name? Let's talk about Invest Answers, and let's go over some of the content that he's putting out, especially where he says inflation impact Bitcoin, how ETH gets to 35K, and impact on Solana. I want to say he's very, very bullish on Solana, Ethereum, and he thinks Ethereum's going to get to 35K. And I couldn't, I don't know how you even put out a video like that. It's pretty unbelievable that you actually think that. So in today's video, let's dive deep. So if you swing over to Invest Answers YouTube channel, title of the video is Inflation Impact Bitcoin, How ETH Gets to 35K and the Impact on Solana.
From Ryan Ellis. He was on a podcast called Bankless, and he believes Ethereum, per his model, should be fairly priced at $10,600. This is based on a DCF model, which is discounted cash flow model. I worked a lot with these over the years, and I ran through this model. If anybody's interested, I can drop it in the comment below. Let me know and I will share the link. But it is pretty watertight as to how the actual valuation is built out. He takes in a couple of different perspectives. One, the fact that Ethereum generates revenue. That times 12 is annual revenue. You get staking rewards if you want on top of that, etc., etc. Looks at the actual supply of 118 million tokens, the actual profit margin, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And he compares this to a PE of a typical company, like a PE of Tesla versus the average price earnings ratio of the S&P 500, which is 35 right now. The actual Ethereum PE ratio is 22.6. But from all of this data, he does believe the current value of Ethereum at about 3,100, 3,200 now should be worth, based on discounted cash flow, of $10,600, which is big. And if you stake it, about $14,390. So again, I worked through this model. Makes complete sense to me. What I'd like to dig into more now is looking at the layer 2s and the ZK rollups and see how they would be valued based on this particular model. So that gives you something we could dig into if people are interested, because I don't think all of the value will go to Ethereum. But if it does, it's huge. So let's look at their price predictions over the next 8-9 years. They had some numbers for 2021, 22, etc. and on. But as you can see here, and Eric works for CoinStack, you can see some of the crazy high numbers out to 2029 of $150,000. Again, all based in this model. It's pretty staggering. Even short-term targets like that December 2022 of 12,581 is not far off the 10,500, 13,000, depending on exactly which way you actually value it and appraise it. And if you layer in staking rewards or not, 2023, 25,000, and on up to 2025, where it could be worth 100,000.
All right, so riddle me this, guys. We're talking about a cryptocurrency protocol, Ethereum, that's wrote in Solidity. It cannot scale. The merge is going to do absolutely nothing to it. No institutional players are going to want to interact with it. They might buy some Bored Apes NFTs, but do you think any bank is going to be building any borrowing or lending protocol? There's a reason that we have not seen any big banks, not Chase, not JP Morgan, not Bank of America. None of these big players start adopting. Yeah, sure, some of them might throw some Ethereum on their balance sheet, mainly for the sheer fact that the marketing exposure from it gets them more ROI than they actually get hodling the coin of Ethereum. Just in Q1 of 2021, there was $1.2 billion worth of hacks that took place on the Ethereum blockchain because the underlying coding language Solidity is not safe. It's Turing complete. So by design, Ethereum was never designed to meet the demands of global real-world adoption. No layer 2 is going to be a player that any legacy bank is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to use this proof of stake layer 2 built on top of a layer 1 that can't scale. Even with the merge, it destroys everything that Ethereum's ever built. These proof of stake chains are pnzinomic by design. They are designed for the rich elite players that got in on the ground level to make all the money. If you take a look at Solana transactions and you take a look at Solana Beach Block Explorer, rumor has it that the insane high TPS, where they're claiming they're doing 2,000 or 3,000 TPS, a majority of that TPS is coming from validators communicating to each other, not actual transactions on a blockchain. We see Solana break every other day. Guess what? A centralized party controls that reset switch. So when you're talking about it aligning incentives, legacy players don't want to build on top of a centralized third party that's going to control how they operate their business. They want to do it on an open source public blockchain that nobody controls, or they're going to build their own private blockchain that they control 100%. They're not going to utilize something like Solana. And it's great, these cool fairy tales that these guys like this, that they want to try to pretend like ZK rollups and snarks and this technology is going to revolutionize the world. And it might be built for some cool application. But as far as finance and what's going to be required for big legacy institutional players to actually onboard into the crypto space, it won't be done on a blockchain that's a proof of stake. It won't be done on a blockchain that's centralized. It won't be done on a blockchain that's owned by a third party. It won't be done on a blockchain that's wrote in a coding language that's inherently impossible to read. Anything that's actually wrote in Solidity, once that smart contract is executed, it is so hard to go back and read what the code actually says. So it makes it very hard for litigation, for attorneys, for healthcares, for engineers to actually work with, let alone explain to somebody on a daily basis. And this is why Kadena is going to take the entire universe by landslide. Now, Invest in Answers is pretty hard on against Kadena, right? But he's pretty bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was designed with inspiration from Stuart Haber and Scott Stranetta. And these are two players that if Satoshi would have looked to evolve or build another version of Bitcoin, how would he have done it? Most likely the exact same way that the Kadena team is doing it. Why? Because they're using the same people that Satoshi used for inspiration to craft and build Kadena. It's been 6 years in the making. 6 years in the making. Kadena sat in the shadows and been building with the greatest minds in the world. And this blockchain is finally getting ready to come to market, and it's going to take the world by landslide. So I don't know why Invest in Answers can't wake up and really see the potential in something like Kadena, but trying to show you guys projects like AVAX, Solana, Ethereum, those projects are all going to fail because the underlying coding language is not secure. It's just that simple. It can't scale in a decentralized way without a titty twister roll up, moped compression algorithm, consensus, ZK, snark, and sharten. You can put whatever consensus model or, what did he call it? You can predict whatever DCF model you want, and you can put in whatever numbers you want. But if we take a look at the chart right there, we can see. So bummer that the line's coming up here, but we can see they were saying in May of 2021, Ethereum was going to be 4,000. In December of 2021, it was going to be 8,690. In December of 2022, it was going to be 12,581. In December of 2023, it's going to be 25,000, 37,000, 100,000. Nobody's going to use Ethereum, guys. It's falling apart by the second. TVL is tanking. Players are leaving. Big players that built on Ethereum that were going to be there forever now have left. They're building their own chains. One by one, every application is leaving. Every day, day after day, there's one more hack. Billions and billions of dollars are getting robbed and scammed from people because it's just par for the course. Build something on Ethereum so a hacker can hack it. Hacker leaves with all your funds. You guys get wiped out. Is it by design? Are these coders just leaving these loopholes in there on purpose? How are we getting so many things wrong on Ethereum? How is it still this unsafe? How does it get more unsafe by the day? Blockchain's supposed to get safer. It's supposed to get easier to use. The onboarding process is supposed to get better. None of those things are happening on any blockchain. Solana's onboarding process is off the hook. Very easy to use, very legacy bank institutional adoption kind of vibe to it. Love you guys. Peace.